Hello, welcome to Cloud Channel. In this module, we will learn how to access Azure Blob storage from Azure Databricks using secrets stored in Azure Key Vault. In this module, we will also learn how to create a storage account and blob container, and how to create an Azure Key Vault and add a secret, how to create an Azure Databricks workspace and add a secret scope, and how to access our blob container from Azure Databricks. I'm in the Azure portal, so I will go to search and I will just say storage accounts. And I don't have any storage accounts available, so I will create a new storage account. I will click on storage account and I need to create a resource group. I will say this resource group or the test 01, and now I need to give a storage account name. I will say storage account db test 01. And the storage account is available and East US. Region I selected as East US, and performance is a standard. And redundancy, let me select the locally redundant storage. So everything looks good here. So let me go to next and enable blob public access. Check this option and everything looks good here. So I will go to next one, networking, enable public endpoint. And let's go to next tab, data protection. I will just disable this soft delete for blobs and soft delete for containers. And let's go to review and create. So everything looks good, my storage account. And we are creating this storage account under RG test 01 resource group. And this is replication is locally redundant storage. So I will create this storage account. So deployment is in progress. Once this storage account is ready, I will create a container and upload a file from my local machine. And after this, I will create Azure Key Vault and create a secret. And then we will create Azure Databricks workspace and create a scope there, and then try to access the file that we uploaded in Azure Blob storage. The deployment is complete, so I will just go to home and go to resource group and click on the resource group. Now I have this storage account is available. I will go to storage account. On the left, I see data storage containers. I will go to containers and click on container. So I'm going to create a new container here. I will say container test 01. So everything looks good. I will just remove this icon. And public access level, I will just keep it anonymous, read access for containers and blobs, since this is a demo. I will create this container. Now I have my container available. Container test 01 is available. So I will go to container and try to upload a file from my local machine. So I'm uploading a file from my local machine, air travel. So I will upload this file in my container. So now I have file ready. So now I will go back to home and I will go to search. I will say Key Vault. So under the services, I see Key Vaults. I will click on Key Vaults. And right now I don't have any Key Vaults available. So I will create a new Key Vault. And resource group, I will keep it under RGTest01. So I need to enter a Key Vault name. I will just say db account Key Vault 01. So this is available. The Key Vault name is available, and region I will keep it as East US. Pricing tier standard, and here we need to enter the days to retain deleted vaults. So we can choose up to 7, minimum days 7. If I say 5, it will fail because the value must be between 7 and 90. So I will keep it 7 days. And I will go to next, access policy. So I will leave all these options. I will keep all these unchecked, and let's go to next one. Enable public endpoint for all networks, and go to review and create this keyword. So I'm creating this keyword, so it should be ready in few seconds. This will be very quick. So once the keyword is ready, then I will go to import generate options, so where I will create the secrets. So I will open one more tab, so just to keep it easy. So now I will go to home and go to keywords. Now I have keyword available. So now I will create a secret. And here we see the option generate import. So I will click on generate import and upload options manual. So now I need to enter a secret name. I will say db storage account key, the name. Now I need to enter the value. So I will go to storage accounts and I will go to my storage account and I will go to the access keys and click on showcase and copy the key from the storage account and come here and update this value. So everything looks good. We can set activation date and expiration date. For now, I'll just keep this empty. So create this secret. So now I have my secret ready, DB storage account key. So now I will go back to Databricks. I will go to home and try to create a Databricks workspace. I will just say Databricks, Azure Databricks. Now I will create a Databricks workspace. I will create under resource group test 01. So I need to enter a name, workspace name. I will say db test 01 and region, let's select East US. Pricing tier standard, and let's go to networking and keep these options, don't change anything. So let's go to review. Everything looks good, so I will create this Azure Databricks workspace. So the deployment is in progress. So far we created a storage account and container and uploaded a file from our local machine. And after that, we created a Azure Key Vault and created a secret and updated with our storage account key. So now we are deploying Databricks Workspace. It takes few minutes to get it ready. Now deployment is complete. So I will go to home and go to Databricks. So I will click on this Databricks Workspace and I will click on this Launch Workspace. So we can see that it is signing in. So once we are in this Databricks workspace, so I will go to the tab here and enter secret/create scope. Now enter. So this is important stuff. This is where we create our secret. Now we need to enter a scope name. I will say Databricks test scope. I'll say or maybe we can say secret scope. And manage principal, I will say all users, and we need to enter Azure Key Vault and resource ID. So how do we get this? So I will go back to Key Vault, and on the left side we can see under the settings we go to properties, and here we have this vault URL. So I will copy this URL and come here to Databricks and enter this URL and resource ID. So after vault URL, we see that resource ID. So I will copy that resource ID and save it here. So now we need to keep this scope name with us because later when we do mounting, so we need to enter this scope. So now I will create this. Okay, so let me just correct this one, Databricks. So now I will save this scope name and create the scope. Save the scope name in a text editor or in your local file to use later in this module. So now the scope is created. So I will click OK. Now I will go to, we need to create a cluster. So I will go to the home page, and here under the common task, we see that new cluster. I will click on cluster, and we need to enter a name. I will say cluster, cluster 01, and cluster mode standard, full none, and everything looks good. So terminate after, I will say after 30 minutes, and create this cluster. So it takes a few minutes to get it ready. Now the cluster is ready. I will go to Databricks homepage and I will create a notebook. I will say this is a notebook 01, and I will keep the default language Python, and I will attach this cluster and I will create this notebook. So now my notebook is created. So now I will mount the blob storage container that we created. So I will run the command dbutils fs.mount and then source. So here we need to enter our container name and the storage account name. So now I will go here and I'll go to home and go to storage account, and this is our storage account name. So I will come here and enter our storage account name, and now we need to enter the container name, and this is our container. So I will just enter our container name. So now container test01 at storage account db test01.blob core.windows.net. Now we need to mount this container, mount container test01. Now we need to enter the configure key. So I will just say fs.azure.account key, and here we need to enter our storage account name. So I will just say storage account dbtest fs azure.account.key and our storage account name and blob.core.windows.net. So now secrets.get. So here we need to enter the scope name that we just created in Databricks. So I save this scope name. So I will mention here that scope name Databricks-secret-scope. Now the key name, we need to get the key name from the Azure Key Vault. I will go to Key Vault and go to secrets. and click on this. Now I will select this key name and enter here. So now I'm going to mount this storage account. So the command is right now running. So, and after this, I will run a command to read a file from the storage container that we uploaded in a container. So while this command is running and this is successful, we successfully mounted our blob storage container. So I will go back to our container. Here I will just open this CSV file. So here we can see that we have the first row as attribute names, month, year, 1958, 1959, 1960. So here we can see number of passengers traveled during these years, and these are the months. So now we're gonna read this file from the Databricks. We're gonna access this file from Databricks. So now I will run a command. I will create a data frame. So I will create a new command here, and I will say data frame equal to spark.read.text mount and mount name. So now I will say container test01, and now I need to enter the file name. So I will come here, I will select the file name and enter here. So let's run this command. The command submitted and data frame created. So now we will read this file. We'll just say df.show. Let's run this command. So we should be able to see the content from the file. So here we can see the month, a year 1958, 1959, 1960. So we can read this same file here using Databricks. So now if we want to unmount the storage container, so we can just create a new command, and we can just say dbutils.fs.unmount, and we need to enter the container name. So our container name is container test01. So now we are going to unmount this blob storage container. I will run this command. So this is still running. So now we successfully unmounted our container. Now I will try to read this file again. I know we won't see that file again because we just unmounted, so it doesn't return anything. It just throws error. See, because we just unmounted the storage account. So this is how, like, in so far in this module, we learned how to create a storage account and how to create a container, how to upload a file, and how to create a key vault and generate a secret, and how to store these keys, these passwords in Azure Key Vault. And we created Databricks Workspace, and we created Scope, and we successfully mounted the storage blob container in Databricks, and we read the file from Databricks, and also we was successfully unmounted the storage container. So if you have any questions on this, like how to access Azure blob storage from Azure Databricks using Azure Key Vault, please post them in the comments. So, and I will go through one more session about Azure Key Vault. So what are the main advantages, like how we can get benefit from this Azure Key Vault. So I will post those modules later. But for now, if you have any questions on this access Azure Blob Storage from Azure Databricks using Azure keyword, please post them in the comments. So I will try to answer your questions. If you like this video, please subscribe and share the channel. Thank you.